like super duper into this. So if we finish today, or we finish within a few hours, I'm not gonna be very sad. Let's just get it going. It's interesting. I'll give you the lowdown, I guess. Like, it's got novel stuff. You are a psychiatrist who's taking over for a man named Dr. Dekker. Dr. Dekker was loaded up with a bunch of very odd patients. He was doing a lot of odd stuff himself. I don't know if he influenced them, they influenced him. Everybody seems to have some kind of power or weird eldritchy thing going on, but you don't know if it's really real or not. Or if maybe you're crazy. There's weird like dreams you have, and I mean you never like sleep anywhere other than here, so just kind of like the whole thing's up in question. And so anyways, you kind of just learn about well, and Dr. Dekker was murdered, so that's kind of the chief thing, is you're trying to figure out who of his patients murdered him. You know, maybe he's technically not dead, maybe some weird shit's going on. Cthulhu land. Yeah, we don't know exactly. So you're just kind of uncovering the mystery, trying to figure out who did it, and let the police know, I guess, or something, among other shit. Like just figuring out their generic stories, leading them away from doing certain things or towards certain things. Kind of figuring out the general plot. It's novel. The gameplay plays out. You know, you have these options you can pick from, maybe. I can ask about Dekker. There's hints on the bottom. I mean, generally, so everybody's got a red dot, right? And as you ask questions, either through this or very specific ones of your own making here, you can actually type them. It'll go from red to yellow to green. And to move on to the next day, they all have to be yellow, I think is the idea. Means you've asked enough questions and figured out the main points, I'm guessing. Not all the details. But it'll also tell you what things you should push again. So it'll probably give you hints as to, you know, what keywords you're looking for. The problem with it on the PS4 from a gameplay perspective is typing in stuff is a bitch. It takes a long time. Since it's finicky already, you have to, you know, get the right keywords. I don't know about sentence structure, but you already kind of have to nail a lot of that stuff, and since it's really slow to type on the PS4, you don't really want to get on that next level of immersion and ask those kinds of questions, unless they're just really pressing. You're like, oh wait, this has got to be a good one, like I'll do that. But if you're like, this might not work, but I kind of want to try it, you're generally not going to. So you kind of are less immersed in that way, because you don't really want to put in that extra effort. So you kind of just want to move forward with the main plot. So I definitely think if you're gonna play on PS4. Yeah, I mean, that's the gist. Gameplay wise, it's kind of whatever.
I'm feeling good. I ran into one of your other patients, Mariana. She's beautiful. I think we might go on a date.
What happened to the pizza girl, brother?
I can't really explain it, but she seems like such a friendly person. I think the police are barking up the wrong tree. I think I've probably said too much. It's probably not the same girl anyway.
Do you want to push these kinds of things?
I don't know.
But you can't.
I think I've probably said too much. It's probably not the same girl anyway.
Like, what do I have to type here?
Read the papers, Doctor. I don't, but people at work talk about it. Missing people, dead bodies. The police are looking for a redhead, apparently. Sometimes I wonder where you're going with some of these questions.
Well, where do you think?
Papers, Doctor. I don't, but people at work talk about it. Missing people, dead bodies. The police are looking for a redhead, apparently.
Oh yeah, because she has people follow her around and then get fucking killed.
Haven't got a clue.
That's not really how people die. That's not how Dr. Dekker died. Dekker died.
Temazepam is the same sleeping pill Dr. Dekker prescribed me. Why would he mix those with alcohol? People are such idiots. Which reminds me, that truck driver died. The truck driver that ran into Hannah. He was divorced, apparently. He killed himself. He mixed sleeping pills with alcohol too. But he died in his garage.
Garage.
I read it in the paper. He'd been drinking. Then he took the sleeping pills. Then he went into his garage and put the hose pipe through his window. Not until he put his daughter in the seat first.
Horseman. Throw that little bit in there.
It's one of those newspaper stories you read and you hope it says he leaves behind his wife and 7-year-old daughter. But his daughter was in the car. Do you know I wrote him a letter?
What about it, man?
Dr. Dekker told me one of the ways to get through my grief would be to write a letter to the truck driver. I tried to forgive him. I know it was my fault. But the thing that made me feel best was blaming him. I think maybe he killed himself because of me. Do you think I'm to blame, Doctor?
I mean, he might be part of it, man, but yeah, I feel like you can't. I mean, maybe it's like his fault, but you can't like blame somebody for doing crazy shit in emotional states and stuff. Definitely shouldn't do, and it's an ugly thing to do, but man, I can't be everything, man. I don't just make him feel good,
His
but
daughter's picture was in the paper. Molly. Ever since I saw a picture in the paper, I've started thinking I could see her. Out of the corner of my eye. Like she's watching me. Crazy, right?
random things standing there. A little cheesy, alright.
Alcohol isn't something I usually notice on people until they're slurring and weaving around. Was Dr. Dekker an alcoholic? Probably. I never saw him drink, though.
Then why would you say it? This would be easier to like actually type. Be more interested in doing it. Be more interactive. I'm supposed to already have issues already with figuring out the questions.
Alcohol isn't something I usually notice on.
You didn't have anything else to say, I guess.
What are you trying to do most? Cure his patients or find out who killed him? It's been nice chatting with you, don't get me wrong, but I can't help but feel you're mainly interested in finding out about the old doctor. I suppose you already know Dr. Dekker thought one of his patients was trying to kill him. He told me in one of our sessions, which was later rewound, that someone had been leaving him messages on his prescription pad. Not good messages. He didn't tell me anything specifically, just death threats. It was one of his many rants. I just sat there quietly, hoping he wasn't going to try and hypnotize me again. I asked him if it was a boy or a girl's handwriting. He said he knew who it was, and that they'd be in trouble. I think he was bluffing.
Makes sense.
My solicitors assured me that I wouldn't have to discuss anything about my trial with you, so I'm not going to. Concentrate on my state of mind, and let me worry about other things.
Okay. I don't know how I could stop him reliving days, but I don't really give a shit.
I feel thirsty, Doctor. And hot. Do you have any water?
No.
I've been drinking a lot of water recently. I didn't go to the beach. I didn't go to the sea. I said I would, but I didn't. I've been feeling this way for a while. It's like it's getting worse because I didn't go to the sea. It's like I'm having...
Water.
I don't feel well. I feel sick most of the time, dizzy, thirsty. I got a head fog like you wouldn't believe. My doctor, Dr. Rose, sent me for blood tests. Dr. Rose thinks maybe I have a vitamin deficiency. I can tell she has no idea. She smiles, but she hasn't got any answers. I think I probably need to go back to the beach. The sea, Doctor. It's calling me.
Okay. And go. Whoa.
This sounds crazy,
Hello?
but I can hear the sea.
Jesus.
It's like an alarm going off in my head. Do you know where the sea is? From here? It's over there. Wherever I am, I know exactly where the sea is. It's like a compass.
I mean, the sea's pretty big, man. If you lived on the coast, you would know already.
I hear a sound like singing, calling me. It gets stronger when I face it, when I move towards it. That's how I know where the sea is. But when I don't go to the sea, I feel like the sound gets louder all the time. I'm having trouble sleeping. Perhaps I need sleeping tablets after all. What's temazepam? Why are you asking? Dr. Dekker prescribed me some temazepam once, but I never used them. I probably still have them if you want them back. I'll look for them when I get home. I may have given some away at a nightclub.
Nice.
You reminded me the sleeping pills were called temazepam. I'm not trying to hide anything, Doctor.
I don't know which of these I shouldn't go
You can get a
for.
buzz, if you know what you're doing. I have this recurring dream.
I don't really care
I'm
what
at
they
the
think of
beach.
me, for the most part.
I strip and walk into the sea.
We're just getting
The
through.
sea feels warm and comforting. Not cold and harsh like you'd think. I swim down to the bottom of the ocean. I can breathe freely. I can breathe water. On the ocean floor ahead of me, there is a beautiful creature. A glowing being with wispy limbs.
A jellyfish?
So warm. I'm transfixed. But my feet shift. I'm unsteady. Below me, the floor is woven in human flesh. Dead bodies, but some
Easy,
of them
man.
still struggling for life. These are the ones touching me, gripping my feet. I scream. That's when I wake up. Do you have that dream, Doctor?
No. Not yet.
It's horrific and beautiful at the same time. It's a dream, Doctor. Stranger things happen in dreams.
Well, seems to be a very important thing in a dream.
Do you forget anything from our sessions, Doctor? People follow me to the beach. I don't know who they are, and I don't know what happens to them. I don't always get followed, though, so it doesn't explain my blackouts. Dr. Dekker kept a bottle of whiskey, or maybe gin. I'm not sure. It was in his desk at all times, and when things got a little intense, he'd pour himself a glass. It's obviously an effect I have on people. I said I don't know what happens to them. It's not always to the beach. Sometimes they follow me home. My home is in Chantry. You know that. You rang my doorbell last night.
Did I?
I don't know. I didn't kiss you, but you just followed me, like the others. I don't feel comfortable here, Doctor. I'd like to leave.
Peace.
He lent me some money to start my business. It was a proper agreement. I remember signing things. He thought that a distraction would do me good. I don't think he expected me to trawl the beach for treasure and sell it online. Dr. Dekker thought I had too much time on my hands, so a distraction would do me good. He lent me 15,000, all in all.
15,000. Guess so. I looked at it, man.
No, there's been no dancing. I haven't been feeling that well, Doctor. Wouldn't you like to know? I'm not hiding anything.
I would like to know what you're hiding.
If you say so, it must have been your twin then. I don't know if I have a twin. Do you have a twin, Doctor? I know you don't. It was definitely you, wearing what you're wearing now.
Hilda died last night. I was there. Well, I was there as her daughter. It was nice. She had a good death. She got to say what she wanted to say. Hilda was Hilda to the end. I was the doting daughter. Don't worry, everything's going to be okay. I love you, Mum. Then Hilda, with almost her last breath, looks me straight in the eye and says, "Don't let them take Amelia."
What's that mean? Can we not have that be on the thing, man?
Amelia's Hilda's doll. She used to have about 9 or 10 of them, all glassy-eyed and creepy looking, with frilly dresses and curls. All over her room they were. In the end, we had to get rid of them. They weren't very hygienic. But we let her keep one, and that was Amelia.
Well, where is it?
Amelia's Hilda's. Amelia's Hilda's.
Not what I asked.
Dr. Dekker drank a bit. I didn't say anything about it, but well, it's not very professional, is it? I mean, it's not like he was drunk. Must be very stressful being a therapist. Do you find it stressful, Doctor? Maybe you're just tired then. You should get some rest.
Guess he looks rough.
Most people have taken sleeping pills at some time or another, haven't they? It's probably quite easy to get hold of them. Although, I have to get a doctor to sign a prescription if I need any at work. It's probably the same for Jaya. Jaya seems really nice. I don't know why she'd want to work in a place like this. I just mean, get all these weird people coming here. I mean, I've met some of them out in the waiting room. I know they're just people, but a couple of them have seriously given me the creeps. She's a slightly older one, isn't she? Always well dressed? Yes, her. I'm pretty good at picking up on people's energy, and hers is cold. Actually, I think I sort of know her. Claire Castleford, isn't it? Apparently, she attacked her husband or something.
Yeah.
I think of Dr. Dekker every time one of my patients dies. It makes me remember how he didn't care about his mum. He was a good therapist. He was a lousy son.
Okay, I guess we can ask her about each one.
I don't know who Nathan is. I don't think I know her. Bryce? I'm not sure who that is.
Why are we asking about each one? Charlotte Glenn.
Sorry, can't.
And I guess we already asked about the ones we need to.
I was angry at Dr. Dekker. Hilda's daughter, she's in Australia, so fair enough. Maybe she really couldn't get over to see her. But Dr. Dekker's mum was dying literally on the other side of town, and he just couldn't be bothered. I shifted for her, but in a way I wish I hadn't, because it let Dr. Dekker off the hook, you know? I didn't realise how little he cared until I told him the news. I'm keeping her safe until I can pass her on to Hilda's daughter. Maybe she'll fly over for the funeral. I don't know. Are you okay, Doctor? You look a bit pale.
I'm dying.
Yes, I told Dr. Dekker. Most other people wouldn't have believed me, but he did. In fact, he cared far more about the shifting than he did about his mum dying.
No surprise there.
For a moment, I thought he might cry. Just for a split second. But he didn't. He just carried on with our session. I wish I knew what went on there. Jaya probably knows. She spent quite a long time with Sarah when she visited. Yes, once. I wanted to show him what I could do so he could see for himself. I took his hand, I told him to think of a loved one, and then there was nothing. I mean, literally nothing, just an empty void. The only thing I could feel was his hand holding mine. I'm pretty sure without that I'm not sure I could have made it back.
Spooky guy.
I'm not really helping, am I? Terry hasn't been into work for a few days. I hope there's nothing wrong with her. I referred myself because of Dr. Dekker's mother. Was I supposed to have a letter?
You're just pretending to care about. Not gonna antagonize them.
There's no lake house today, sorry. David's not doing very well. He's caused a problem with the girl. I need to do something. The little girl, our neighbor at the lake house, she says David is weird and creepy.
Doctor! Oh, sorry, but I found some of the referral letters we were talking about. There is a pattern, but it's not the same for everyone. He said to get them to you ASAP, so here you go.
Thanks, pal. Cat Rune Bench. McNaughton rules. And so far everybody seems to want him to call them insane. Is he supposed to drive people insane? Isn't there solicitors? Chart token. Never mind. So there's a bunch of solicitors. What are solicitors? I always just think of them as like a sales dude or something. Let me look it up. Person who tries to obtain business orders, advertising. North America, the chief law officer of city, town, and government department. They're two very different things. Why are these names weird? Hackett Brown. Art token. And law. Round bet. How so? I have no idea. What's weird about the names? Whatever, dude.
David has been hunting and skinning again. But from the look of the torso, he caught a domestic cat. I'm being generous. It was definitely a cat. I spoke to David about it, but I have no idea if he can comprehend me or not. He just grunts at me. He doesn't even smile anymore. Not at all. Ah, yes, sorry. I left out an important detail. The girl, Anushka, she was crying because her cat had gone missing, and she thinks that David killed it. Doctor, I'm worried. I'm worried that David's not going to stop at cats. He's killed deer, rabbits, wild birds, and now cats. I'm worried he might add little girls to his list. I can't stop him. I can't stop him. I can't control him in any way at all. Ever since I brought him back from the dead, he has done nothing but ignore me. I'm starting to think that I need to put David out of his misery. That I need to end his suffering. That I need to kill him
Sure.
again. What shall I do, Doctor? Should I kill David?
Yeah.
I love him so much. But you're right. It's time. He's becoming a danger to people around him, not just himself. I never talked to Bryce, but I did talk to Iris. She didn't want to at first. She blames me for David's death, but as we both know, that's not a thing. Anyway, she said she was never locked up in any basement and had never heard of any Dr. Dekker. So it's, as I first suspected, a lie. You didn't make all of that up so I talked to Iris again, did you?
No.
Then Mr. Bryce seems to have a few more issues than me. Perhaps you should ask him about that.
Or somebody can fucking mind hack.
Oh yes, here. From a few weeks ago. As you can see, Doctor, he looks perfectly normal.
Is that him? Anushka. I'll ask about that. Why not?
I spoke to her again. She wouldn't tell me her name, which is quite right. I am a stranger after all. So I gave her the name Anushka. She said the man that lives in the lake house is weird and creepy. If Dr. Dekker was an alcoholic, he hid it well. I never saw him drink. He certainly never offered me a drink. God knows I could have used one. I've never used sleeping pills. I'm too afraid of what would happen to me in my sleep.
I feel you.
Dr. Dekker was very quiet in our sessions after seeing David. After a while, he started talking about David like he was a pet, asking me what I fed him, what he'd do in certain conditions. Dr. Dekker asked me if I'd ever accidentally locked David in, which I hadn't, but curiosity got the better of me, so I locked him in the lake house. He couldn't get out. He didn't have the wherewithal to operate the lock.
Well, what'd he do?
I think he was fascinated with it all, and David and I had become new test subjects for him. When I said David never listens to me, he urged me to start giving David treats for pleasing me. Not in that way, but showing him how to close a door, for example. If he did it, give him a treat. It did actually work, but I had to stop myself. I felt like I was training a monkey. It just wasn't right.
Uh-huh.
My solicitors did refer me, but I ended up going privately as it was cheaper. I'm paying them enough already without them getting a percentage of my therapy bill.
Am I supposed to give a huge shits about the referral thing?
I'm fine.
I'm worried. My pursuer in the hour, he's definitely military. I've developed a new skill to deal with him.
There you have.
He's the cute, sad-looking one, isn't he? He asked me out, and I said I'd let him know. Do you think I should go out with him? Okay, but if he goes missing, don't go looking at me.
Nathan, good knowing you, friend.
Last night, I saw him draw something from his jacket. He was approaching me, grinning. I had nowhere to go. So I closed my eyes and imagined, well, I imagined being back home. And when I opened them again, I'd teleported.
Teleported.
I was as surprised as you are. I just imagined I was somewhere else, and there I was. Perhaps Dr. Dekker was right. Think of something, and it becomes real, if you believe in it. But I'll only do it wisely. Imagine the mistakes you might make. Don't want to become one with the igneous layer too soon.
The igneous layer. I don't even know what that is, friend.
These sessions cost a lot of money, Doctor. I'm not just going to leave in the middle of one. But I can see you don't believe me. Do you really want me to teleport, Doctor?
Not really what I'm asking, buddy.
I saw Jessica across the street this morning. She waved, but I just crumbled. Ever since I took those photos, I haven't been able to face her. Do you think I should tell her about the photos, Doctor?
No.
I didn't think I should either. She'd hate me forever. Maybe when she next waves, I'll at least wave back.
Yeah.
Work is fine. If anything, I've been falling behind again. I think it's the stress of not being alone in the midnight hour anymore. I stole a painting. There, I've said it. It was from the local gallery, Providence. I really like it, but I can't afford it. So I took it. It's just that one thing, just the painting I've stolen recently. I think my new pursuer is unraveling me. Is it okay to steal things, Doctor, if I really like them? I thought you'd say that. I will do my best to refrain from it, but I can't promise anything. I never saw Dr. Dekker touch a drop.
A drop.
Doesn't mean it wasn't going on behind closed doors, though, does it?
The only one that said that they saw him drink was Mariana. I mean, it definitely makes her suspicious, but I don't know if she kills people with... She knows about Tamaz. I mean, they definitely push Mariana right now to have the most stuff. If I had all the times written down and shit, maybe I could do something about it, but... Well.
My other doctor had prescribed me sleeping pills before I came to see Dr. Dekker. I think they were called temazepam. I never took them. Good. I was starting to think you didn't care about me one way or the other. Yes, that's David Castleford. I've no idea when it was taken. Shocking composition.
Why is it shocking?
No, no, I'm not becoming him. I'm not becoming Dekker.
I didn't say that.
My pursuer. He's measured in his approach, watching, testing. When he finally came for me, I wasn't ready. I think he underestimated me, though, and that allowed me to escape. He didn't think I'd be able to just leave. Why do you think he's coming after me, Doctor? Oh, I think I might know.
What?
I think he's death, Doctor. I think I saved that old woman from burning to death in bed, and now he's coming after me to even the score.
I don't know about that.
Do you think it could be death? It's just me. I'm going crazy. I'm so strange. Everything about me is strange already, but to have another presence in my hour, it's unhinged me. I was one of Dr. Dekker's first patients. I wasn't
I can
referred by
tell.
anyone. My GP recommended I saw someone privately. I think he was just sick of listening to me complain about how little time I had during our 10-minute slot.
I don't want to talk about grief today. I'm getting enough grief from work.
They're supposed to start her from her last.
Sorry, I'm Glenn. I didn't expect to be here. I was looking for the men's room.
Right.
Like I said, I was in the green room. You know, that new restaurant in town. I actually need to do something. Done. Sorry. I was in the middle of a date and needed the restroom, and here I am. Sorry, you're not familiar with my case. I stepped through the restroom door into your office. Sometimes when I go through a door, it opens to another place.
Of course.
No, I shouldn't imagine she did that. I didn't even pass through the waiting room. Besides, it's lunchtime, she won't be there. No, not really. But it's lunchtime, and you don't normally see patients now. Well, Dr. Dekker didn't normally see patients now. Dr. Dekker was crazy. I
Oh,
arrived
shit.
late to the party. Apparently, he was a fine, upstanding citizen before. I don't know what changed him. Of the few sessions I had with him, he'd observed me walking through doors. But I'd walk through a door and I'd disappear. Then I couldn't get back. The session was £150 either way, so I paid that for a couple of times and then decided it was a bad idea. As you can see, it's still happening.
I won't charge you, friend.
The doors. I'm still vanishing from one place to another. My dad died. He was on his deathbed and I was complaining about work women or whatever. It was an idiom. He said, when one door closes, another opens. Then he died. I needed those words to be important. So here I am.
Yeah.
He was stoic. He had tuberculosis in his lungs. That's what killed him. Nobody knew until the end. I never got to say I loved him. Yeah, maybe. He'd split with my mum 3 years earlier.
This sounds more like a psychiatry session than anything.
It was bad. I didn't talk to him really at all. They called me as next of kin, said I should come in if I wanted to say goodbye. I did love him. He just broke everything. No. I hadn't seen him for so long. I just let it all out. I screamed, I shouted, I punched the walls. Do you know what he said? Sorry. Over and over again. Like he really meant it. He did. He really meant it.
It
When
seems
I
like
stopped, when I was exhausted, he smiled at me. Like he cherished me. Like he'd been waiting to say sorry. Waiting for forgiveness. I didn't get to. I didn't get to say I loved him. I didn't get to forgive him. He just said when one door closes, another opens. And then he died. What does he think of me?
I mean, I'd have,
All those years, thinking I was the bigger man. It turns out he was. There's no going back, is there, Doctor? When one door closes, it's shut forever.
Am I supposed to be leading people into some weird shit? I mean, yeah, it's too late to tell it to him, but I mean, he knew it. Everybody knew it.
No, sorry.
Iris denies. Basement.
How extraordinary. So the girl in the basement was somebody that Claire knows, and she's adamant that I didn't rescue her. I really wish I'd taken photos now.
It's no solace, really, is it? Maybe another time.
Scarlett, I haven't been in since he died. Since Dr. Dekker.
This was supposed to be a squeeze, somebody said.
He was a complicated man, as I suppose most people are.
Jeez.
His external persona didn't match what he dreamed about. His dreams were amazing, filled with a spectrum of colours and creatures. It was like Narnia for grown-ups. That was in the beginning. I'm a dream walker.
Of course.
I can visit people and help them in their dreams.
Yeah, same.
You've not caught up on all his old patients yet, then?
Not quite.
Fluid, soft, intricate things. I couldn't draw a picture if you asked, but they drew you to them. They looked a little strange, but you felt compelled to watch them.
Yeah. Nice legs, lady. Can you not show them off in the middle of the fucking deal here? I guess she's paying though.
Chaotic, dark. Like an earthquake, everything you stood on shifted into something else. I think he was fighting with something internally, and it was winning. I don't know. It's a turn of phrase. Inner demons? Insanity? I don't know. I can visit dreams, but I can't force the dreamer to interact with me. It's something I've been able to do since I was little. I was born an identical twin, and my sister and I shared dreams. We just thought it was normal. When our younger brother started having night terrors, we helped him. I just need to know the person, a little, and know they're dreaming. Then I can sort of jump into them. It's something, I think, in my mind. Firstly, I need to sleep myself. I'm constantly tired, so I can pretty much sleep on demand. Before I go, I think of jumping into that person. That's how it works for me. I've tried teaching others, but I don't know if anyone else can do it.
Couldn't it just be you imagining shit?
I don't know. Lots of people. Whenever I get close enough to tell somebody about it, the first thing they want to do is try it out or have me visit their dreams. That's kind of why I'm here. Relationships. It's difficult to sustain them. I'm not just talking about romantic entanglements. It's hard keeping friends too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, I tell them about my ability and they immediately want to try it out. The problem is, I don't normally like what I see. I think people try to show off. Firstly, they're a bit shocked if I turn up in their dream. But when they're comfortable with that, they start to put on a show.
Uh-huh.
But most people can't control their dreams, so they tend to turn into nightmares pretty quickly. Oh look, I'm dreaming of a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Oh, why is it destroying New York?
I mean, I get it. Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters ain't gonna fucking scare you.
When you've experienced someone's dream, if they've been a bit creepy in it or terrified me, It's hard to look someone in the eyes after that.
I imagine so.
It's embarrassing. What should I do, Doctor? Should I not tell people about my ability? Keep it a secret, bottle it up?
I mean, if it was real, you should tell people you think will give a fuck. Somebody will eventually, but assuming it's not real, probably should just try to suppress that.
He's dead now, so I suppose it won't affect him if I admit that. So yes, I was. Not near the end, though. Not when his dreams started changing. Like I said, my ability ruins relationships. Who told you? Jailer? Just thought she'd know. Thought she'd know everything about her precious Dr. Dekker. Sorry, we didn't speak that much. But she was a lot like the other woman. So much control over someone who was supposed to be her superior.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to do what she wants then.
Valentine's Day was awful. I had a bit of an accident with a creme brulee torch and had to spend the night waiting in A&E. I melted a nail to my finger. It hurt a lot and needed stitches.
Well, I imagine. How do you melt a nail?
It's all fine now, though.
Mine too.
I know, right? So if I tell them, what can I do to stop pushing people away?
I mean, yeah. Dreams are be honest.
It's difficult to do when you experience them like I do. But I know what you're saying is right. A lot of the time I assume people are controlling their dreams like I can. But they're probably directed by their subconscious, and who controls that? So, if I could breathe through my ears, you wouldn't want to see it. I do say no. A lot. But I usually cave eventually.
Alright.
It's a referral letter, Doctor. Don't overthink it. A girl can't be too careful with everything that's been going on.
Okay.
Double honest. Interesting. I suppose I haven't really tried that. I might just give that a go.
Was double honest.
I don't know if you know, but Professor Alderby used to be my professor. He teaches history and psychology, amongst other things. I know it's not technically work, but he asked if I would allow him to have the video footage of his sessions with Dr. Dekker. Dr. Dekker wanted to be removed from all of the videos, so it's jump cut after jump cut, but I'm sure you've already noticed that. Some people would say Dr. Dekker had a bit of a drinking problem. It got worse and then it got better when his confidence turned up. I think it was the stress of dealing with the new patients. I like the odd tipple. I've been known to drink, not as much at the moment, not as much as Dr. Dekker did. He kept at least one bottle in his desk drawer at all times. You can't imagine the amount of times I wanted to sneak in and have some. I suppose it's possible that somebody spiked his drink. Most people probably knew he had a bottle in his desk. Wouldn't have been that hard to empty out some capsules into it. Maybe the police should get fingerprints?
Why not?
I'll go and suggest it. Make sure nobody touches the bottle in the meantime. I don't take sleeping tablets, never have. I'm not allowed to prescribe either. Dr. Dekker had me try to forge his signature once, but I was woeful. I didn't think you'd mind, since it wasn't your case anyway. Mostly it's the professor talking about how he viewed reality back then, in so much as he thought it was changeable. There's nothing else to do but watch while things are encoding. Psychokinetics, remember? Cult of the Kinetic Mind? Professor Alderby said it was recommended reading to help psychiatrists in their frontline battle with insanity, he likes to call it.
Right.
Professor Alderby saw the relationship between psychiatrist and patient as a winnable battle. The patient must be cured by removing their psychokinetic ability, if present, either by telling them it doesn't exist or by using another psychokinetic ability to negate it. It's a long time ago, I can't remember all of it. There was a specific example.
And
If someone tells you they can fly, you tell them you control air currents and that from now on they won't be allowed to use them. This would normally stimulate the brain in such a way that the patient stopped thinking they could fly. The main danger as the therapist is believing that you can control air currents. The danger of pretending you have psychokinetic abilities is that you may start believing you have them and then have them. It's the paradox of the cure. Dr. Dekker loved paradoxes. His favourite was the grandfather paradox. If you can travel
sorry, I'm
back
not
in
been saying
time
much
and
here.
kill your
You
grandfather,
know, kind of not
then
nauseous,
you
but kind of a
cannot
little
be
bit.
born. But if you cannot be born,
But there's so
then
much
you
talking,
cannot
we're just
kill
kind
your
of going.
grandfather. It's a time traveler's chicken and egg, if you will.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Maybe he was an undercover secret agent. Maybe he was getting more annoying as time progressed. You're not, though. You're lovely. Is this a good time to ask for a raise? Wow, I was kidding, but thank you, Doctor.
What's up,
I'll
Cruz?
take that as a yes. And don't worry, I'll sort it all out. Dr. Dekker definitely dabbled in that stuff. I'm not sure to what extent. I like Professor Alderby. He turned me onto that book I've been raving about. The Cult of the Kinetic Mind. I should start selling them myself.
You should.
Dr. Dekker told me he was adopted. His birth mother only turned up 5 years ago because she wanted money for her experimental cancer treatment. I'm not sure how much it cost or even if he had the money, but he didn't do it, and she became one mean mother.
Well, I could tell Claire about that. Why not Claire? Ellen.
I think of Dr. Dekker. I think of Dr.
There's a lot of stress in here. We're dealing with people's lives. How do you relax, Doctor?
Don't.
I love video games. I just wish they'd make ones with stronger female protagonists. Sorry, I'd settle for any female protagonists.
Right.
I bet you like dance music.
I love
I don't know
video
why.
games. I really love video games. Can I get a raise? No, I enjoy J-pop actually. And idols. I relax by spanking my cock.
I love food. It will be my downfall. Stress eating is the worst. Mariana thought I played hockey. Whatever that's supposed to mean.
I don't know. Not alcohol, man. Let's just move on here, fellas. Not gonna push it.
You said you'd help me with my problem, but he's still here.
Who?
Dr. Dekker. He wants me to kill people.
Oh.
He wants them to follow me to the sea, to the creature.
Well.
It eats them. It's getting stronger. Dr. Dekker says when it's strong enough, it's going to walk again. That's why I black out. He doesn't want me to know.
How we doing though, Klitza?
He doesn't want me to remember. I'm feeding a beast that wants to eat us all. You've got to tell me, Doctor. You have got to tell me the truth.
Well.
You're dreaming, but your dreams are the truth. Don't forget me when you wake. I don't know how I'm in your dream, but now we're together.
Shit.
Let's play a game. I say a word, you say a word. Ready? Guilty. Murderer.
Yeah, man, sounds rough.
Wrong answer. Now you're stuck with me. 3 little words and I'll let you go. Murderer.
I'm good.
Yes. You rang my doorbell.
The truck driver.
The little girl.
What is slightly mad? Is it good now though?
Genetics, the photos.
Dr. Dekker seemed to like a drink.
Bit of a drinking problem.
It's probably the same for Jaya.
One of his patients was trying to kill him,
He lent me some money.
leaving him messages.
Creature, human flesh.
I'd teleported.
Do you have that dream, Doctor?
Oh, doctor. You look. Hmm. There's something I need to tell you. I can't find Dr. Dekker's prescription pad anywhere. I'm not sure when it went missing, but I don't remember seeing it for a while. Yours is there, but I'm scared one of the patients may have got their hands on it. Let me know if you find it, anyway, and ask me about Mariana later. I've got news.
News. Ooh, sorry, 1 sec here. Alright. Sorry, I'm feeling a little fucking nauseous, man. Just a touch. I think it's just my fucking sinuses keep going down the throat.
Poor Mariana. Dr. Dekker must have been serious about getting his money back. I've had a response from the small claims court. Is that motive enough, Doctor?
This is like bait? I mean, I don't really care exactly who it is, but it's a hell of a signature, man. $36 though.
Dr. Dekker's prescription pad is still missing. I'll let you know if it turns up.
There's so much feet in this, Jesus.
I didn't know anything about that. If I have any grievances with my employer, I spit in their coffee. I hope that's how you like it. Don't become like Dr. Dekker. I think that somebody killed him because he was using them. There's some footage I can't show you because it would affect you too much. Suffice to say, when Mariana told him she could breathe underwater, he wanted the same power for himself. So instead of trying to cure her of it, he'd try and amplify it to see how it worked, so he could imagine it for himself. I think he did that with all his special patients. I think he wanted all of their powers. If you believe in that sort of thing.
Okay. I don't really give a fuck what I'm believing in right now. We're just kind of letting the story bounce off my fucking brain, man, really.
Any patient who presented with psychokinetic issues, they were his special patients. Towards the end, he began ignoring all the other cases. Most of the patients saw it as a curse, what they were experiencing, what they were unwittingly doing. Dr. Dekker saw it as an ability, a power to be harnessed and used for, well, God knows what he was going to use it all for. So we made them give in to it, and it consumed them, consumed all of them. Whether you believe any of that or not is your choice, but they did, which made them angry. And that's why I think he was murdered by a patient. I'm worried about you, Doctor. You seem quiet and, well, it's just your fingerprints on the bottle. Maybe you touched it by accident? You didn't know him, did you?
No.
Then why are your fingerprints on his vodka bottle? No, don't answer that. Oh, the infectious madness of Dr. Dekker, who hasn't it touched? I'm so worried.
Name drop.
You just seem a little different from the person who turned up all those weeks ago. You don't talk to me as much as you did. You flitter between patients in a daydream. Tell me what things are bothering you. Who measures sanity or insanity? One man's philosopher is another man's fool. I'm keeping an eye on you. I won't let you go crazy. I think I'm okay with the grief now. My mother died suddenly, and I think I was projecting Dr. Dekker's death to be about her. I know they're not related. My mother died suddenly, like Dr. Dekker. For her, though, it was different. She burst into flames. I was 7. They said she must have been smoking and drinking on the sofa, but she doesn't smoke or drink. Professor Alderby said it was spontaneous combustion.
It was really hot, and the AC was broken.
A fictional space god that's resting at the bottom of the Atlantic. It's not likely, is it? Or maybe you think it is. Have you spoke to Mariana today? It's not your job to find out who the murderer is. It's the police. You can only point them in the right direction. Murder is a means to an end. There's a lot more going on here you should be thinking about. Your patients will always be a bother, but you're caring for people. We do still care, don't we, Doctor? In a few weeks' time, there'll be a whole new bunch of faces with a whole new bunch of quirks. Let's not have a whole new doctor, shall we?
Okay. Did you write the death threats?
I think you know who killed Dr. Dekker, so you're gonna have a good day. Can we talk a bit about hypnotism, though? This might feel like the darkest timeline, but it's not my darkest timeline. I didn't kill Dr. Dekker. I look at one of your other patients, or maybe even your assistant.
Yeah. I don't really care. And right now I'm just like Mariana or fucking... I mean, any of them could. There's probably some details I'm missing. I mean, I'm not obviously asking every single question. I can't type quickly on PS4. I'm not gonna push it. So, I mean... Mariana has many reasons to kill the guy. He knows about the drugs a bit. Knows about the booze. The loans. Plenty of reasons. But she says when people die with her, it's when she goes and takes them somewhere. Well, he got stabbed in the chest. Unless she mixed it up. Or was feeding me some shit. I don't know. Claire... She hasn't really done a whole lot there. Apparently it changes every playthrough. So it's probably just these really obvious little things. The problem is, like... I mean... Am I supposed to be assume am I supposed to assume I'm being baited, you know, at all? Or am I just going with the whoever has the most against him? I mean, Ellen has like very little reason. I mean, she doesn't like Dekker that much. And I could see her maybe deep down having some hidden side, but it doesn't seem too crazy.
I'm good. I feel better. Last session, that was all negative. I don't want to be like that. I made you something. A little thank you for being so nice. They're cookies.
Thanks. Are they poison?
You're very welcome.
Are they poison?
I'm a happy person. And really, what's the point of being miserable? It doesn't matter what's going on at work or anything. Happy is the only goal. Max told me that. I think some footballer might have said it.
Yeah, I mean, kind of creepy in a way, but I don't know. Didn't really have many reasons. I mean, Claire is kind of like the bait, where she's kind of crazy and she stabbed people in the chest before. But like, there's not that much going on with Dekker unless I missed some shit. I feel like they're pushing the Dekker thing too hard with Mariana. Bryce? I don't know, man. I mean, Jessica wanted medicine. I could see her stealing the prescription pad.
I didn't steal Dekker's pad. I didn't have to. If I wanted to use it, I could just teleport in here and steal a sheet. Why take the whole pad? Why be that obvious?
All the music's changing a bit. Let's type in the name of the game. If the murder can change every playthrough, I feel like having it be the very important secretary would never happen.
For a grief counsellor, you're asking some pretty random questions. Suffice to say.
I've heard you can plant keywords in people when they're hypnotized. How would I know if I had any? I think that the hypnotism didn't take, but maybe Dr. Dekker did hypnotize me, and it did work, and he told me to think that it didn't. I think I found one of the key words.
What's that?
I can't say what it is. I don't want to trigger it. I was on the phone to my dad last night, and he said something, and boom, I fell asleep. Normally I wish that kind of thing would happen, but it just happened. I phoned him back. I thought it was seconds, but it was an hour later. I asked him what he'd said. He'd watched some NASA program. He was reading off planets. It was one of them.
The horror, man. He hates indie games, man. Irrational hatred for video games. How's it going, buddy? Still feeling like shit? Yes, it is an indie game. It's okay. He's a ghost. Maybe. Well, he's not a ghost. It's just the way they frame it. He's in a Groundhog Day state, he says, though. It's novel, a novel concept for sure. And I think on PC I'd be more interested in getting down to the bottom of everything. Ghost. This man, dude, they're all ghosts. Maybe they all are ghosts, I don't know. Yeah, it's a novel concept. And I do think that some of it's interesting. I'm curious what the big payoffs are gonna be. Boogie Diddy. But because I can't really interact gameplay wise as hard, and I don't really know what the overall goals are. I mean, am I making sure I'm not going crazy? Am I pushing them to go crazy? Is the Eldritch shit real? Is it not real? Am I trying to find the murder? Do I give a shit? It's kind of like, I don't really have like a clear thing I'm shooting for, so I'm just kind of freeballing it. And since I'm not going off my own questions.
I don't want it to be triggered.
Okay.
I'm at peace with Hannah now. I can save her. And I'll keep trying, but I must move forward.
Slipping in and out
I
of
did
sleep.
kind of ask you not to talk about this anymore, but I suppose you're not taking notes.
I don't really care, buddy.
Things have been interesting. Thanks to Mariana. We went on a date. Well, sort of. She texted me this bar she was going to, and I just turned up. She can dance. I was transfixed most of the night. Next thing I know, I'm lying in my bed, at home. The room's spinning. The day moved forward. In fact, every night I go and watch Mariana dance, the day moves forward. Do you think Mariana likes me?
I don't know.
His prescription pad's missing. The one with all the death threats on it. Do you think the murderer took it to cover their tracks? I suppose it could be a coincidence, but I'm guessing whoever murdered Dr. Dekker stole his prescription pad.
Clearly I'm taking notes. Well, hopefully it's been good sleep, man. If I ever have erratic sleep, I usually feel like shit. I guess it depends. If I get up and do things for an hour or two, then go back to bed, then get up and do things, then go back to bed, then I feel like shit. I just kind of wake up and then go back to bed. Not as bad, but... Oh my god, it's a ghost of a girl. That was a ghost, probably.
I'm fine, Doctor. I went to the beach, swam under the sea, and returned to tell the tale. No blackouts. Nothing.
Okay. How are you?
I told you about Max, right? Didn't I mention him before? Yes, but you don't know the whole story. Max,
Dead.
77. He was one of my patients. I thought he was dying, so I shifted for him. Came an old sweetheart of his, apparently. Only Max didn't die. He actually got better somehow. And then he came and asked me to do it again.
How dastardly of you. Ellen.
Eleanor, her name was, or is. Like I say, he doesn't even know where she is now. But she obviously still loves him. When I shifted, I felt all fluttery and excited. It's so sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, Max and Eleanor had dinner on Valentine's Day. I felt a bit weird when he asked me. But he said he just wanted to have one more date with her, and then he wouldn't ask me again. And to be fair, he was a perfect gentleman. I mean, I didn't want to have that conversation.
That.
What about the prescription pad? Someone was sending Dr. Dekker death threats. Had no idea. He never said anything to me about it.
Okay.
Yes, I took it. I had to.
What?
Dr. Dekker told me he could use it to take away my gift.
What's in the cookies?
I suppose he was just trying to cure me. I mean, I thought he believed that I could shift, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he was just humouring me the whole time. I don't know why Max didn't die. It usually works. I just mean when I shift. They see their loved one and say what they have to say, and then there's nothing stopping them from moving on. Why? What did you think I meant? Thing is, because Max didn't die, he saw me change back after I let go of his hand. There wasn't anything I could do about it.
Right. In the cookies, I'd be like, hey, you know, what's in the cookies? Like chocolate chips? Or hey, what's in the cookies? You know, arsenic? I mean, what kind of question is it? I was hoping her shoe said I'm the killer on him. I'm like, oh, really? That's a big knife, sweet cheeks.
I'm fine. I killed David. Again,
Good.
like you told me to.
Yeah, I did.
With an axe. I got him to put his head on the wood block. He didn't really know what he was doing. He trusted me. I cut off his head.
Good.
When I picked it up, it was smiling. Probably a muscle spasm.
Or he was ready to go.
Anushka's fine, I would imagine. Her father came over to talk about the missing cat. It would have been an easier conversation had I not been splattered in blood and sweating like a milkmaid. It seemed like he wanted to give me a piece of his mind, but when he saw the state I was in, he fled. There were no police that turned up. I suspect I've got away with it, at least this second time. Now all that's left is for you to write up my diagnosis.
I guess, man.
Oh, the continuing saga of Dr. Dekker. After he'd seen David and done his due diligence, he came up with an offer I couldn't refuse. Remember? The one I told you about when we first met.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Dekker wanted me to reanimate him. He said he would kill David unless I agreed. He called me on Valentine's night. He promised to use a disposable phone so there would be no trace. I was supposed to come here, where I would find him dead, and then reanimate him. I agreed immediately. It seems that Dr. Dekker went through with his half of the agreement. But I forgot to turn up.
Why did he call Nathan that night? Nathan said he didn't answer. There's so many little things, because I can't push them super hard into the details, and I'm also need to be wary, I guess, of what I say and what questions I do ask. That hard to really like get on that level, right?
I never saw Dr. Dekker's prescription pad. I imagine he kept it hidden away to stop people stealing it. That I'm not sound of mind. That I wasn't sound of mind when I killed David. It's up to you whether you want to mention any of our other conversations. I'm happy either way.
I mean, I'll do it, sure.
That isn't important right now.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not feeling very well. I tried to sleep through the midnight hour, and I slept for 8 hours. When I woke up, it was looking at me. That thing was looking at me. Time was still frozen. But I can't escape it. I'm doomed.
8 hours, what a madman, dude. The power fantasy, dude. I mean, that would be a nightmare. You wake up, oh my god, it's been 8 hours. Exactly on the spot. Yeah, hell of a power fantasy, dude. The absolute mad lad. Yes, you are insane, friend, and I'm taking you to the loony bin. Excuse me, this man slept for 8 hours. Please lock him up and throw away the key.
It knows what I did with Dr. Dekker. It's been taunting me.
What did you do with them? Did you kill him or? I'll probably look up a bunch of endings and shit when we're done with this for the day. Do some YouTube shit. And maybe I'll come back and start another game.
It wanted me to follow it, so I did. It brought me here, Doctor. Here. It thinks I killed Dr. Dekker. I'm sure of it.
Did you?
It wanted me to follow it, so I did. It brought me here, Doctor. Here. It thinks I killed Dr. Dekker.
Why? This would be much easier if I could type it, right?
I took his body. It was me. I took it from the coffin because I didn't want him put in the ground. I don't know what I was going to do with him. I just didn't think burial would be enough. Maybe I would cremate him. But the body disappeared. If only he'd been cremated like you will be. I have a private tool shed at the graveyard. I moved his body in there before the burial. But when I came back, he'd gone. It was locked and he'd gone. How did that happen, Doctor? How did Dekker do that?
The cremate thing would be creepy more if we hadn't talked about it another day. He said, would you rather be cremated or buried? And I said, cremated. And he said, oh, good.
If someone else moved Dekker, they'd had to have picked the lock, moved the body, and then locked up again. Why go to the trouble of locking up again?
Why would Dekker... It would have to be teleported.
I've tried to avoid my extra hour. I tried to sleep through it. I did try one thing.
Larger mystery.
I spied on you, Doctor. You have a strangeness, don't you?
I mean, that could be, yeah. What strangeness?
You live in the same house as Dr. Dekker. I spied on him several times, so I know the house very well. You kept it almost entirely the same. Why did you live in the same house as Dr. Dekker? Is it a perk? Or you, Dr. Dekker?
Afraid not, Fred.
Thought it might be a perk. I'm sorry I spied on you. I was just getting worried that you weren't who you said you were. Just some mannerisms, strangeness. It's good you've adopted his dog, though. I'm not sure many people would have done.
What kind of perks are that? Well, if I inhabit the same place as him, then I will be able to handle his patients like him, which wasn't very well. Or maybe like it's the old psychiatry house and he passes it on to his next of job.
Well, kudos to whoever had the guts to do that. Wasn't me. What did they say? You've piqued my interest now.
I don't know.
Why don't you check your notes?
Can I see your pad? The prescription pad. I threw it away.
What about the prescription?
Oh, I put fucking bad. Not that it makes it.
told me he could use it to take away my gift. Sorry, I don't know.
Huh.
What do you mean?
Forget it.
I waved back at Jessica yesterday, and she smiled. It was
Good
bigger
work,
than
son.
normal. I think we may have made a connection, Doctor. The photos I have of her, I think I'm going to destroy them. They're
Amazing,
my
son.
problem, not hers.
He's gonna make it, man. Son, you're doing God's work. You're living the life of all the men out there. I wish they could make it. You're fighting for them.
I teleported back into the art gallery after our session, in the midnight hour.
Put it back.
I replaced the painting,
Good
so
man.
I haven't stolen anything for a long time now. Perhaps a cheeky borrow best describes it.
Huh? Good job.
I don't know.
They don't flow like conversations, right? It's more gamey. That's what I was asking about replacing it. Why did you do it? Because we told them. Put more keywords in there. I could just put replace painting, you know. It'd be quicker, but I don't know how much the in-between kinds of words. I don't actually know what the name for those are.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I need to do that. I've been doing it before. I don't know why I didn't there.
That's not important, Doc.
Yeah, it is.
It's not out of the question to think that Dr. Dekker teleported himself out of the tool shed. If I can do it, he probably can. That's the kind of thing I've been thinking. But the thing that's been following me, it can teleport too. I think the thing might be Dekker. Is the thing Dekker?
I don't know, man.
And so it is. You worried me then, Doctor. I thought you were starting to believe in the unbelievable too.
It's me. And I'm gonna kill you. This will be interesting. Tell me about how's Nathan been?
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't dream, Doctor. I haven't dreamed for years now.
Sure.
People follow me into the sea. I don't force them, they just follow to see the creature.
The creature.
I'm not sure what you'd call it. A wisp? A star? It's so bright and warm and loving. I don't know why it leaves me.
Like
It only wants the others. feeds on them.
Yeah. Go on. And how do I get in on this?
When I look down, I black out. But if I can just keep looking forward, no blackouts. I can just swim back to the top when it's finished. I don't have an answer.
Liar. You fucking liar. But yesterday we had some dream sequence where she was like in his dreams or some shit. I don't know if I should entertain that kind of thing. Hold it.
You really want to know?
Yes.
If I look down,
Yes.
it's writhing. Just limbs of people from the clubs and the bars. Not just from this week, but last week, last month, last year. They all look terrified, but somehow still alive. The creature. It's all inside them, poking holes through them that they shouldn't have.
Thank you,
It
ma'am.
just eats them. Slowly.
The men would enjoy this fate. Not me.
The missing people. That's where they go.
Yeah, it's Legion, dude.
I don't know I'm doing it. I swear I don't, Doctor.
Okay, I'm a vampire killer, sweetheart. We're gonna go handle this.
Creature. I hear it. It's hungry. Nobody can know. It's our secret.
You ever thought about taking it to, like, you know, bring it some Popeyes instead, man?
I can't explain what happened with John.
John.
He followed me back from the bar that night and swam with me under the ocean. I blacked out. He'd gone. You must have read about John in the news. He was a local student who went missing. He was a looker. And he had a way with words, but he was also a cheat. The creature liked eating him a lot.
Okay.
But I can't explain what happened next.
What happened to John?
I left him to be eaten.
Yeah.
And the next morning, he turns up in my bed
Huh.
at my house. He's not wet at all. No signs he's been in the sea, but he has holes in him. Lots of holes.
He
His
seems like a
inside
killer.
is on the outside. Just a ball of tangled worms. And now they're blaming me, but you knew that, Doctor, didn't you? That's why I'm here.
Do you know about the prescription pad? Did you watch the local sports game? The local team, did you watch that? The sports game, the ball game.
They think I killed John. John and some others. They need to know whether I'm insane or not.
Well, you are insane, but you might also be telling the truth. But you're also insane, so I mean.
My lawyer. He says I'm insane, but that he needs you to rubber stamp it. Do you think I'm insane, Doctor?
This is some fucking loaded ass questions, man.
Why would someone steal Dr. Dekker's prescription pad? I didn't even know he had one.
Oh. She didn't take it. I don't think she said that she wasn't prescribed it from him though. Did you write the death threat?
No. The creature killed John.
Okay. I don't know if you're supposed to just say, hey, yes, you're insane. You should just say no. I don't want to get killed here. Nathan Date.
You'll have to ask me.
Okay. I'll just say no.
I told you how grateful I'd be. But you need to fix my problem first. If they try me as sane, I'll be in prison for a long time. And then, how would you get your reward, Doctor?
Am I supposed to tell you you're insane? My reward? I'd rather you just be away in prison for a while.
I prefer actions over words, Doctor. You know that.
Jesus, man, we get it. Did you kill him? They're pushing that one. No, that's pretty hard there. Killer.
I don't know.
I don't know. Sure.
Thanks, Doctor. That's what I'm hoping.
Okay.
So he did plant me with something. I have absolutely no idea. Did you find out what the key word is? What is it? No. Don't say it. Write it down for me. And thank you. You know, there's something I've not been telling you. It's about time travel.
Oh boy.
I read a book about time travel.
Did you?
I thought what was happening to me was a type of time travel.
Oh.
I couldn't control it, but at the end of each day, I would travel back in time to the beginning and live it over again. I'm like Doctor Who, but I don't have a TARDIS, and I can't choose what time I go to. Except once.
Huh?
The doctor said she was legally still alive. The only thing they could do was starve her. Hannah didn't die in the accident the first time around. It was worse than death. She wouldn't have wanted that.
Yeah.
I was looking at a photo from around the time of the accident. I had a lot of alcohol, which I think was probably necessary. I jumped back to the junction. I started pulling out, but the lorry was already on us. I drove into the lorry to make sure. I didn't wake up in hospital because I woke up the next day, present day. Things had changed. Her obituary changed in the press clippings I kept. It said she was killed instantly. Nothing else changed. Her family seemed to hate me more, which is ironic because the first time around, they pulled her off life support. So I saved them the indignity. Now they just think it was my careless driving that caused her death.
I do enjoy that they try to make every one of these somehow possible as a
I can't tell you anything about
they try to make them all possible somehow, that they're just psycho mode. Like, he doesn't give me any hard stuff. Even stuff like this, like right there, is like, maybe your dude's kind of crazy, right? Like, and I feel like they try hard enough. Like, it's believable enough. Like, you know, with his, it's like, you know, he went back. I mean, his thing's like he's got the loophole there, whatever, but maybe it's caused that because he's fucking gone kind of psycho because of he killed her or whatever, and it was his fault. Where in the original timeline, he didn't kill her or some shit. It was the other guy's sort of kind of fault or an accident. So he's like trying to cope by like making up that original timeline or something.
her obituary changed in the press clippings I kept. It said she was killed instantly. Nothing else changed. Her family seemed to hate. I haven't been lying. I haven't been lying. As far as everyone's concerned, she died in that car accident. Instantly.
That was it. I just asked about life support. See, I go to the yellow, but you can go to green.
I read a book about time travel. I thought what was happening to me was a... That doesn't mean anything to me.
Thanks for reminding me, Doctor. I don't remember seeing it when we got back on Valentine's night. Maybe he put it in his briefcase. Did anyone look there?
Ooh, her story is full of holes, man. I don't want to get murdered, though. Do I push her? I mean... Do I just say Mariana is... I mean, she seems like super suspect, unless they're going for some kind of twist, then... And see who else would be. I mean, everybody has a possible thing.
Poor Mariana. Dr. Dekker must have been serious.
Let's ask about the loan.
Dr. Dekker asked for his loan back after diagnosing me as sane. In his opinion, my blackouts and everything else were fictional. He had no proof, of course, either way, or I'd be cured, but he asked for his money back, and I didn't have it. On Valentine's night, the Uber driver took me home. Then I got a text from Dekker asking to meet him here. So, I walked. He said he had a proposal for me. That if I gave him what he wanted, he'd give me what I wanted. His money back. I didn't have it. Don't you know what I want?
An insanity plea, probably.
I suppose it's about an hour's walk from here to my house.
How hard am I supposed to push her here?
Wow. That's a low blow, Doctor. And after all our sessions, I'm not a thief. Even the loan, that was just unfortunate. It's our secret. What will you tell people, that I'm feeding people to a creature at the bottom of the ocean? What proof do you have? You can't tell on me. You know what you do to me. When you visit. I let you do it because sometimes I'm ashamed of what I've done.
Do I eat your
You make me feel like I deserve it.
leftover Chinese food out of the fridge? You do deserve it. You got back.
You get inside me, Doctor. And it hurts. And you don't care.
Really? Accuse.
Doctor, I didn't think you had it in you to jump on little old me. Was I too muddled? I think if you're gonna tell the police that I'm guilty, then I'd like to speak to my lawyers. I'd like them to see the security footage from my apartment. The footage that clearly shows you coming over,
Put me in the slammer.
uninvited, and pounding away on my door like a psycho. And then I'd have to tell them the truth. That you wanted to have Dr. Dekker's job so bad you killed him. That you made me seduce him and drug him so that you could run a paper spike through his heart. And then after, when I wanted out, when I wanted to tell the police, you started stalking me. That's the truth, Doctor. I guess that's far more believable than thinking Dr. Dekker was eaten by a creature from the deep. A creature that he was trying to appease. Or, I suppose you could tell them that I'm insane. And I could take the fall for you. Couldn't I, babe?
Don't call me babe. Oh, those are really hard. Well, they're probably not doing too good. And I don't think my dude's doing too good because I asked a lot of questions, I guess. Wow, thanks for the Einstein quote, dude. Very cool.
So I've got a new dog, a basset hound. She's got these big floppy ears and a really sad face.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
even sadder than I look. Ginger. I call her Ginger. She's a rescue. But since I've had Ginger, I've never looked back. Literally. Not one day.
Missed.
Terry's been promoted to night sister. She hadn't been in, and I thought she was off sick, but apparently she was on a course. So she's my new boss now. I've already started looking for other jobs. It's no secret Terry hates me. But, you know, got to be positive about it. I could have a completely fresh start. There's a job on the children's ward I'm going to go for.
I suppose in hindsight, it was self-defense all along. It hadn't occurred to me that I was just defending myself when I stabbed him. It probably just took the right lawyer to help me see it that way. I'm happy I'm free, obviously. Who wouldn't be? There's just one small problem, Doctor. My husband. He's still alive.
I think I was in my own head too much, manifesting things that weren't there. But I'm very much an art connoisseur now. It's definitely helping keeping me sane. I realised that I'm a very visual person, and paintings can keep me occupied for hours. I go to Providence whenever I get the time. It's the local art gallery here.
I know.
The best time to go is late at night. You
Why
get
is
the
that?
place all to yourself.
Oh, of course.
What I want to know is, how did you know which patient was the murderer? I mean, they
How
all
did you
lied
know?
to you, didn't they? I'm just glad it's business as usual around here and I'm not having to look for another doctor again. It's embarrassing. Dr. Dekker almost caught me writing the advert for his replacement.
Stop worrying, Mr. Ashby. Yes, it sounds almost certain that you murdered your business partner, but I can get you a temporary insanity plea. I'm a lawyer, not an agony aunt. Now, as I was saying to you before, you need to choose your particular strangeness before I can refer you. Once you have chosen it, don't waver. They have to believe what you're saying is true for it to work.
Okay. Is that what they're going for? Or is there an ending that's got, like, actual Cthulhu shit? We don't know, fellas. What about the guy who shot himself in the head in front of me? Did we just not... Is that not my bad? Is that not anybody's bad? What are you doing on my couch? I didn't pay you for the... Alright, you didn't pay me for the replay.
Doctor, I didn't think.
Oh.
So I've got a new.
What I want to know is, how did you know?
Lucky guess. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, how could you not, man? Maybe mine was just really easy. What else is this? More insanity, Nathan, sing a song. I accidentally used the hint once just because I fucking was testing the button. I didn't get a psycho enough, man, I guess, dude. I mean, I feel like it'd be hard to get that psycho because you need to be able to actually type a lot of shit in. And on PS4, I don't want to type that much. So, I'm curious if I look up other endings, if it's going to be that you can also make it so that the one of the endings is like the Cthulhu shit's real, or if they always play it off as you just went crazy. And the idea is that there's this guy referring people here to try to get insanity pleas, and they just have to like push some story on you kind of thing. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, it definitely kept me like curious if that's what was happening, but I mean, I feel like it could just change depending on your ending, because it could go each way pretty easily. Because they hit towards a lot of different things. Who killed the guy? I feel like was always just in the evidence. Like they pushed her early, and they really made it like obvious as fuck, dude. I feel like that's always like some sideshow, like who the killer is. Like it just marks the end, right? Like there's always random evidence against them, but it's like mainly against them. I mean, there's little other things, but like, I mean, she was like super obvious. Yeah. Anyways, guys, overall, what did I think of it? Find out after I take a piss. Be right back. I gotta piss. Alright, so what do we think of it? Overall, I thought it was fine. I think that if I have any big gripes with it, like big ones, I'm gonna be that it's way too fucking annoying to play this game on console. I would not recommend it if you're wanting to get the full experience they probably intended to have. They do offer you just enough options to kind of push forwards with the day and just kind of, you know, you can figure out the mystery. It's pretty upfront about a lot of that. Apparently it changes, but I mean, I think it's just, it's hard to be really into the idea that you're being the psychiatrist when you can't ask all the questions you'd want to ask. They tell you what you should push further, but because the wording's pretty picky sometimes, excuse me, very keyword heavy and stuff. It's kind of hard to figure out exactly what they would want. So having to type extremely slowly, sorry, I got real tired there. Having to type extremely slowly just kind of doesn't really work out very well. I was gonna get a drink and I didn't do it, but we'll just finish the talk. I'm gonna turn the stream off afterwards. So it kind of makes it so you're not as immersed, and because you're not as immersed in not wanting to ask more questions, you're missing a lot of cutscenes, and because you're not, you know, seeing all those, I mean, you know, that hurts the overall thing a bit. So if you're gonna play this game, don't play it on PS4. That's a mistake. I mean, I would have done either way because I just rented it, but other problem, which if you're trying to like win, or you're trying to kind of play it gamey, right? Like you want to see all the conversation things, ask all the questions, you're not really sure how that's gonna affect the ending because there's so many different goals. You know, do I need to worry about him going insane? Do I need to worry about how they are, how I'm affecting them? Do I need to worry about, you know, who the killer is? Do I need to worry about if I'm gonna get killed by them if I say a certain thing? And there's enough possibilities there that sometimes I don't want to pursue a lot of shit, so that in turn means I can't see some stuff on top of, you know, having to slowly type shit. So since there's so many different kinds of goals, it's kind of like it'd be nicer if it was sometimes a little bit more clear cut. Like, am I just trying to like find who the killer is, or you know, is the whole Cthulhu thing like? I mean, I guess questioning that's important, but sometimes it's not like a huge issue, but it makes it sometimes so you're kind of just wishy-washy on everything, and you're kind of trying to just experience it, not push down too many rabbit holes. You know, you get the lady trying to tell you to fix them, and they got you, you know, guessing whether she's actually shitty. I mean, I think it does good stuff there, and that's also one of its strengths, where it's like, it definitely makes you second guess pretty much everything. I mean, her being the killer, not really. The big mystery, that was pretty simple, but they always left an option for them to be crazy, but they also, you know, made it seem like, you know, maybe people aren't fucking crazy. Maybe it's, they are just kind of, you know, some kind of crazy Cthulhu things. But at the end of her story thing, she doesn't really, I mean, she tries to get, I guess, you to believe, maybe, is that you went to her place and did some shit. But, it didn't seem like, you know, they ever covered if that actually happened or not. I guess we're just assuming not. But yeah, I mean, replay value, I mean, I guess, it depends on the endings and stuff. I mean, I don't want to replay it, really. Finding out more stuff would be interesting. Seeing who a different killer would be, I guess, would be interesting, but I feel like it's pretty obvious. If it's like this, it's gonna not be hard. Yeah, I'd be more curious in other endings. I don't know if they're gonna be mine or not. I think other things of note to talk about is the acting. I think most of the acting was fine. I think the seducer lady was a little much sometimes. I imagine it's hard to play a seducer role and not have it be a little cheesy. I think they were trying to push her as kind of the woman in the red dress type of thingy. She's like the siren pushing people, and you know, she's dressing up, and her as the killer kind of fits that a little bit more because she's trying to seduce you or trying to work you so that she has blackmail over you. So in terms of the character type, I think it's fine, but the acting was okay. The other guys were mostly well acted. Sometimes it was a little overacted. You know, they do a lot of crazy facial shit that was like a little dramatic. That like didn't really feel like a natural conversation of any kind. But because they were trying to be crazy or were crazy, a lot of it's not that big a deal. There weren't anybody that was like super like, wow, this is really good acting, but for the most part, it wasn't too bad. Jaya, I didn't care for that one much. She was a little too much sometimes. I mean, you definitely got to feel she was consistent. Everybody was really consistent with their character, I would say. But sometimes they were, I think that maybe the direction was a little over dramatic sometimes. But I guess that's supposed to be the thing. They're supposed to be all very different, kind of colorful, and their insanities or not. But yeah, that part was cool. I mean, visually, I mean, it's just you in there and just looking at the same place. I think that's fine. I don't have a big problem with it. They have kind of the little ghosty looking things and shit popping up, and I think that's cool for trying to see if things are actually crazy or not, or making you guess. Music wise, I think it could have used maybe some music. I think the ambience getting more, maybe a little more psychotic as you're getting psychotic is a cool touch. And I've always said I do like layered things like that change over time depending on like the context, you know, like what level you're on or your choices. But I don't think it did enough for it. I mean, if you're not going full crazy, which I don't even know if it does change because of that, it might just change every day, just very slightly. I don't even know if it actually did. I might have just totally just didn't even see. I think that while it's cool in theory, I don't think it's impactful enough and you feel it enough that it may be replacing not a standard soundtrack, but something a little more just varied. It could have been just kind of chill shit, or maybe a little creepy here and there. Or, you know, maybe they got like some light themes occasionally. Like, I mean, I guess not everybody, because you jump between them so much, and there's not like one like natural flow of how the game's played outside day 1 through 5. Having like a song that really fits something that isn't just kind of